Today marks the fourth time that I've participated in the IAB Brand Disruption Summit. And full disclosure, it is absolutely my favorite project to work on. And that's for two reasons. Number one, disruption is hard, but it's so interesting. It keeps us on our toes and it keeps our neurons firing. If we weren't those types of people, none of us would be in this room today. And number two, I've always found the process of how brands are ideated, born, operated, cultured, marketed, sold, and become part of our lives so interesting and so damn fun. So it's those two things that put me on this stage today, presenting to you, because today is about you. I'm just here to share some knowledge and insights that hopefully will inspire you to embrace the latest disruptions in order for you to realize the full potential of your brand. So as David mentioned, we believe that there are 4 key disruptions that are posing significant challenges but also opportunities for brands and retailers today. Number 1 is H-commerce, also known as hybrid commerce, growth powered by the fusion of online and offline shopping. Number 2, the seismic shift that's happening with the explosion of the creator economy and the redefining of what we know as must-see TV. Number 3, look beyond the hype, the metaverse. Know this, it will be a shopping medium. And the last one is the privacy priority, where real-world repercussions are coming for all of us. So over the past few years, we talked about how brands and retailers were focused on bringing products to consumers via digital shopping, via the leveraging what we called storelessness, as brick-and-mortar stores were closing at a greater clip than opening, and as consumers were increasingly shopping online. The economics were in brands' favor and retailers' favor to double-click on that trend, as large brick-and-mortar based brands and retailers lost share to small, digitally based disruptors. But over the last year, we have seen a shift, which is the first disruption we'd like to discuss today. So welcome to e-commerce. Welcome to H-commerce. Key themes. Continued e-commerce growth combined with the resurgence of in-store shopping ushered in the era of hybrid shopping, or H-commerce. Not to be confused with omnichannel, which means multiple channels. H-commerce is where those multiple channels talk to each other. Big difference. Also, established and direct-to-consumer brands are recalibrating their go-to-market strategies to meet the expectation of the H-commerce economy. And number 4, brands and retailers are investing in the tech to provide seamless H-commerce shopping experiences. So as we all know, e-commerce is continuing to grow. But the larger story here is that it is exceeding pre-pandemic projections, which means it's taking a larger slice out of our daily lives. But at the same time, in-store shopping has returned. Per the Commerce Department, more money was spent in brick and mortar last year than in 2019, the year before the pandemic. And in contrast to the last 5 years, more stores opened than closed. Think about those two things for a second. So as a result, we've arrived at the first true hybrid economy, powered by that fusion that I talked about. And as I mentioned, this is an evolution of omnichannel. H-commerce is where they talk to each other. They talk to each other to create enhanced, seamless, cross-channel, no interruption shopping experiences. Research from Criteo found that 3 in 4 consumers shop via the fusion of online and offline tactics. This includes things we've all done, such as purchasing items in store that we found online, or vice versa, or shopping online for a product and then picking up at store, click and collect, BOPUS, call it what you want, or using AR to shop in store. In fact, hybrid shopping Hybrid shopping is happening across the consumer journey, from learning to visiting the storefront to making a purchase. Research from the NRF and IBM found that shoppers are using hybrid tactics across each of these three phases. And of course, you guys are innovating. Both brands and retailers are riding the movement, as both established CPGs and DTCs are building the businesses to be hybrid fluent via mergers and acquisition, expansion into brick and mortar, and offering subscription digital services. Those that are offline heavy are building the digital offerings, or vice versa. So we're seeing younger, successful DTC brands move faster beyond digital to become hybrid offerings. This is happening faster now by leveraging services such as offline ghost kitchens or to creating permanent storefronts. Note, those two things are talking to each other in all those examples. I guarantee you that's happening. But then established brands who have had their roots in offline, then of course built these massive digital e-commerce storefronts, are now investing and innovating to build their h-commerce storefront. Target is my favorite. I love to shop at Target. They are investing $5 billion to turn their stores into shopping centers, pickup locations, plus delivery warehouses. Sephora and Macy's are transforming their showrooms into digitally enabled hybrid shopping ecosystems. Go check it out. You'll know what I mean. Which brings me to AR, augmented reality. AR is key to h-commerce because it enables the fusion of online functionality with offline tactile sensibilities. For example, perhaps you found a shirt online. You really liked it, but you weren't sure that it would totally fit, so you didn't want to waste the money. With AR, you can try it on at home, like you were at the store. Closes that gap, no pun intended, close. AR shopping tech is a $2 billion business that's projected to grow 30-fold over the next decade. And of course, we're seeing Walmart, Amazon, Pinterest partner with brands to make this thing reality across their platforms. This is really where it gets really cool and really interesting and getting back to fun. Emerging h-commerce technology is transferring stores into hybrid shopping control centers. For example, at Amazon's new Style store, you can go into the changing room, get suggestions there on the kiosk screen, look at people's feedback on certain products, ask for more stuff to be brought to the changing room, and actually make a purchase. Nike's Style Concept Store, they have an in-store content creator kiosk where you can next level publish what you bought in the store or what you're trying out right to your social stream. That is the fusion. That's hybrid commerce. So, quick recap. Not to be confused with omnichannel, h-commerce is defined by the fusion of online and offline shopping, and established brands, DTCs, and retailers are recalibrating their go-to-market strategies and investing in tech to meet the h-commerce shopper. Which brings me to my second disruption, the rise of the creator economy, which is threatening the legacy Hollywood TV economy and redefining what's called must-see TV. Mass interest in creators is altering the balance of power from professionally produced Hollywood content to creator content. Production investment in broadcast and cable TV and film is decreasing, while investment in creators is skyrocketing. Ad investment in creator content is actually growing faster than TV and streaming content. And content creators are leveraging their power to build successful consumer product brands. And viewership of creator content now accounts for a significant share of viewership in America's living rooms. So we all know the creators are huge, there's a ton of them, but the top 50 creators have a follower count of nearly 2 billion, which is 5 times larger than the US population, just to put it in a little bit of perspective. But again, where it gets interesting is the fact that consumers are now spending more time with creator content than they are with Hollywood content, essentially, with Hollywood-produced content. Per the Consumer Technology Association, people age 13 plus spend more time with creator content than Hollywood-produced content. For example, last year, people spent twice as much time with TikTok, creator-driven TikTok, than they did with Netflix. And TV production investment is down nearly 20% since 2018, and we're seeing the major broadcast networks peel back some of their production. Same thing is happening in the film industry, where nearly half the number of films were released in 2022 versus 2019. And consumer box office sales are down nearly $2.5 billion, or 31% lower in 2019. Of course, COVID plays a role in that. But make no mistake, the film and TV industry knows where the eyeballs are shifting. Which brings me back to the creator economy, where per CB Insights, investment in production has increased 15 times over the last 5 years to $3.3 billion. So for example, not only are the major social platforms building the infrastructure and the underlings to power this economy, so are publishers like ESPN and BuzzFeed and e-commerce platforms like Shopify and Squarespace, and of course, YouTube. And although small comparatively, ad spend in the creator space is growing twice as fast as professionally produced TV streaming content. Per an IAB proprietary study, we found that 8 in 10 brands now use creator advertising, which is up 50% pre-COVID. Again, here's when things really start to get interesting, right? So bolstered by mass reach, along with production and ad investment, creators are now not only creating their own consumer product brands, but becoming multi-platform brand enterprises. Popular creator Mr. Beast, with 104 million YouTube subscribers, has more ghost kitchen burger joints than Applebee's has restaurants. One of TikTok's highest earning personalities, Addison Rae, now has her beauty brand on the shelves in Sephora and her toy brand in Walmart. Celebrities, of course, are jumping on this as well. They see the similarities in strength as creators. It's no surprise, then, that a whole new market of celebrity-driven brands have flooded the market. But here's the takeaway. We're seeing a whole new construct for how brands are born and come to market. Create engaging content, have a POV on products, build up a following, and leverage each of those things to create new brands. Now, of course, I would be remiss here not to mention what really helps this process, which is the stack your own supply chain infrastructure that was pioneered by the DTC brands in terms of how they brought brands to life. And lastly, usage of the social platforms moves to CTV and accounts for more than half of the view time. So creator content has become what people watch on the big screen at home. Half of CTV AVOD watch time is now attributed to YouTube. That's the redefinition of must-see TV. Think about when you turn on your screen at home on a Tuesday night. That's what you're watching now. Quick recap. Mass interest in creators is altering the balance of power from professionally produced Hollywood content to creator content. And viewership of creator content now counts for a significant share of viewership in America's living rooms. Let's talk about the metaverse. Beyond the hype, the metaverse will be a shopping medium. And that's the third disruption I wanted to talk to you about today. Yeah, it is getting a lot of hype. I don't know if you saw the Sunday's New York Times, but they had a full pullout of it. But yet, it still carries so many unknowns about how it will affect our lives and when. But if you cut through the hype, and we've said it before, believe that know one thing, it will be a shopping media, a place where flat 2D legacy e-commerce experiences will become virtual 3D commerce experiences powered by Web3 tech, enabling consumers to shop for virtual and real-world products and services. Dollars are flowing into gaming, a precursor to the metaverse, where brands are testing and building storefronts in virtual metaverse-like environments. Commerce storefronts in metaverse are being built in anticipation of market potential and consumer intent. Brands, retailers, and platforms are already capitalizing on current-day metaverse commerce opportunities. So the $150 billion gaming industry, including in-game and hardware purchases, is a harbinger for the dollars that will flow eventually into the metaverse, as gaming, with its virtual attributes, is a precursor to the metaverse. Gamers already spend $19 billion on in-game virtual goods in mobile games only. For example, storefronts are being built in Roblox's metaverse-like virtual gaming worlds, with brands like Dick's, Gucci, Forever 21. In 2021, data per Roblox, nearly 6 billion virtual items were exchanged in Roblox. So let's talk about the metaverse shopping potential. Metaverse commerce is estimated per McKinsey to be a $2 trillion market by 2030. Nearly 1 in 3 global consumers will have products, global companies, this is per Gartner, will have products and services ready for sale in the metaverse by 2026. 41% of consumers said that they would like to be able to shop in the metaverse, 60% of Gen Z consumers, and 1 in 4 consumers have already shopped in the metaverse, like virtual stores, 70 of which have made a purpose. The last research is from Cowen, who will be presenting tomorrow. So we're already seeing in preparation major blue chip brands like McDonald's, Nike, MasterCard, Walmart. They've already filed to protect their trademarks in the metaverse. They know it's coming. And commerce already exists there. D2A is the new D2C. Major brands are enabling consumers to gear up their avatars with avatars with their branded products. It's already a $50 billion business. Metaverse commerce is already thriving via NFTs, what we like to call the metaverse loyalty cards. Nearly 17 million NFT transactions worth $18.4 billion were executed between April 21 and March 21 per city. Brands such as Adidas, American Eagle, Puma, and Starbucks are participating. And lastly, we're seeing the rise of MSaaS platforms, Metaverse Storefronts as a Service. They're building virtual storefronts to transform commerce into 3D experiences. So imagine instead of scrolling, landing on an e-commerce page like the way you are today, you just got a list of the products. Imagine being in the metaverse and you literally can lean in and scroll through, thumb through the hangers. Be like, oh, I like this. Well, you know what? I'm going to check this out. I'm going to try this on. That's what you're going to be able to do in the metaverse. I've seen this. It's incredibly, I'll never want to go shop again once this goes full tilt. So quick recap. Dollars are flowing into gaming, which is the precursor to the metaverse. And brands, retailers, and platforms are already capitalizing on current day metaverse commerce opportunities. This brings me to my last thing, the privacy priority. Today I want to talk about the real-world repercussions that are happening, because those are incredibly important to you folks today, brand owners and operators. Last year we talked about the data dilemma, where we showed how brands and retailers were worried about privacy, dealing with diminished addressable audiences, rising CAC, rising CPMs, and figure out how to accumulate and leverage first-party data. But that's risen to a new level now, where things have gotten real, meaning it's having a more pronounced real-world repercussions for all brands and retailers. I do not have to tell you people this. We call this the privacy priority. So ongoing privacy legislation will not only further challenge brands' ability to assess advertising performance, but also increase the likelihood of lawsuits and penalties. Privacy legislation and ongoing signal loss have jeopardized the value and vitality of platforms and DTC brands, and brands are innovating to recoup lost revenue from signal loss and evolving their go-to-market strategies. And of course, the IAB is saying, do not sit on the sidelines. Get educated and explore new privacy-driven strategies. So although Google delayed first-party cookie deprecation until 2024, we got 5 new privacy laws going into effect in January that we are still unclear on, which means how do you leverage them? And that makes you more vulnerable to privacy penalties. And that's especially scary when you consider the fact that over the last couple months, businesses paying privacy penalties are now moving beyond the large legacy platforms. They're already catching the big fish. Now they're coming after the small fishes. Which brings us to the next challenge, the real repercussion that you all deal with, signal loss. 50 to 60% of signal fidelity is already lost and kneecapping the ability to target audiences and measure ROI. Table stakes for you folks to run your businesses online. Due to Apple's privacy changes alone, which curtailed signal loss, digital platforms are expected to lose $16 billion of revenue in 2022. $16 billion of revenue. Decreased signal loss is driving up addressable audience sizes, CPMs and CAC. Big numbers there. You see them on the screen. Signal loss and increased costs have upended the economics of your businesses, of the DTC, social-based go-to-market strategy, which, yes, among other factors, has led to decreased valuation and funding. Per an analysis by Big Technology, almost all public DTC companies with market caps over $800 million are dealing with revenue contraction, shrinking margins, runaway losses, leading to stock price drops ranging from 19 to 64%, and billions lost in market cap. So as mentioned earlier, DTCs are pivoting how they go to market. It was in the last session. They're even turning to their old frenemy Amazon, where the signals are still strong. Some DTCs are stealing the playbooks of the established brands by building marketplaces on their own sites. Established brands are not immune either, though. Rising CAC means they can't afford to lose the customers that they did acquire. So brands like Mercedes and Shiseido are using tech-based post-purchase AR tech experiences to engage and retain those customers. Signal loss has also led to new metrics and measurement approaches, less reliant on lost signals. We're seeing increased use of advertising cost of sale, marketing efficiency rating, and attention metrics. So to regain signals in a privacy-compliant manner, per the MMA and BCG, 9 in 10 brands are also pursuing alternative ID solutions. And to realize the full potential of perhaps their most valuable privacy-compliant asset, first-party data, 80% of marketers spending $1 billion or plus will utilize data clean rooms by 2023 per Gartner. So ongoing privacy legislation will not only further challenge brands' ability to assess advertising performance, but also increase the likelihood of lawsuits and penalties. Again, I implore you, this is not the time to sit on the sidelines. Get educated. Explore the new privacy-driven opportunities in the market. Be able to leverage all the data you have and avoid penalties. 4 key takeaways today. Number 1, H-commerce. Brands and retailers should ensure they are connecting the technological convenience of digital with the tactile nature of physical. It's the fusion. They got to talk to each other. Number 2, the seismic shift to the creator economy. Brands and retailers should embrace a mix of creator-driven and professionally produced content. Number 3, the metaverse is going to be a shopping medium. Brands and retailers should be testing its potential now and building plans to prepare for the shoppers who will appear at your virtual storefronts. And the privacy legislation threat, it's gotten real. Successful companies across the entire digital ecosystem are those successful companies, are those that utilize tools and technology to recoup signal loss in a privacy-compliant manner. I hope this helps. Please come to me for questions, suggestions. Thank you very much. I'm Chris at IAB.com. I'd like to thank Meredith, my deputy, at Meredith.com.